And we're back again. I hate this camera. I am so looking forward to the GoPro that I ordered last night. Apparently this thing, which I still haven't quite figured out, I suppose I should read the instructions, but why the hell would I do that? Shuts off after about 10 minutes, 12 minutes of recording. So I have set a timer now to remind me to, hey stupid, stop the thing and start it again about every 9 minutes. But what you missed wasn't too much on that last video. I was going through the other side, the other four. They were pretty gunked up, a little bit restricted, nothing substantial. And then I shut that off to get ready to go and do the Venturis when I realized it hadn't been running for a while. So I went in and checked everything. And really the only thing that I'm disappointed about is the last time I lit my cigar, a hornet flew in. And I killed a hornet with a map gas torch. And I'm pretty sure that would have been funny. But such is life. Anyway, since the rest of this stuff wasn't too interesting, you can see I've got my rest of my doodads out right now to start trying to put this back together. I blew through all of the Venturis. They're pretty good. All the other passages are pretty good. Everything else is clear by the looks. I was able to, while downloading the videos there, scrounge up another accelerator pump rocker cover off an extra carburetor Dad dropped off a little bit earlier. So, remember what I said yesterday about don't ever throw anything out. Don't ever throw anything out. These are some of the things Dad's been hoarding for 50, 60 years probably. Holleys don't change much. They're still applicable. But one thing I looked at, I don't have these gaskets. I don't have a set of these gaskets. And pretty sure nobody in town's going to have a set of these gaskets. Because who the hell knows where the carburetor is these days. So I cleaned them up. They're not great, but I think they will allow me to seal the bowls good enough to where I can test this thing, see if everything works one more time. So that's what I'm going to concentrate on now, is starting to put this thing back together, see if we can get it running. First thing we got to do, start putting the accelerator pumps and everything back together. What I said about those little diaphragms, you don't want to mess with those things. They're cheap. Not much to them. They just get some level. I don't like using pliers for this, but I have a few extras. Alright. Strangely, that little bugger interferes with the float travel. I'm going to nip that off. Since that's not necessary. Much better. Get me a nice new diaphragm. Get the spring. And center it up nice. And sure, everything's quicker if you use a automatic screwdriver, but not a big fan of electric battery operated stuff. When I'm dealing with aluminum. I always tell people when they ask me what torque something's supposed to be, before I go do the calculation, is you ought to tighten it till it strips back out half a turn. I'm going to try not to do that today. Ooh, feels good. Okay. These bolts were filthy. So I'm going to clean these up a little bit as they go into the gasoline. Yeah, I'm checking the stupid camera. That GoPro better be good. Never really wanted to spend the money on one, but this thing is a pain in the butt. Why not? You only live once, right? I have to give you my birthday present. Now, if anybody's noticed, see this hole here, this is actually an old door. And maybe one person who might watch this video would know where it came from. It's actually out of the Kimberly Clark, Neenah, Wisconsin Engineering Center. Way back when I was a young engineer, before I realized I didn't know everything. Now I do. Just ask my wife. But they were doing some remodeling, and one of the guys had gotten a couple of doors. I don't remember exactly what I did. I helped him move something. And asked me if I wanted it, and I said sure. I don't know what the hell I was going to do with it, but it has made a pretty nice workbench for the last quite a few years. Okay. Now that gasket went on pretty good, so we're going to try to get this baby lined up. There she goes. Now I've done this before. Put this thing on like that. Helps to flip that up, make sure that this piece gets where it's supposed to be. Wow, that was a fast 9 minutes. So we're going to stop this tape right now and restart it again. Boy, I've really been yakking a lot. Anyway, we'll put this thing back on now, like I said before, make sure that's lined up. Like that. And you can see I've already, and it looks like it's going to go right back where I wanted it to. Very, very little clearance, because I want that sucker to start pumping as soon as that cam comes on. That's a pretty important adjustment on these things, especially on the double pumpers, because that's the whole point of it. Notice I'm using a quarter drive. I could probably use a little tweaking, but we'll wait later. Now, we will do the same. Might as well save that. To this side, get one of the little diaphragms. I swear these just pushed through the last time, but maybe not. Pull. There she goes. And that one does too. Nope. Nip that off. Very nice. Alright. Spring. Diaphragm. These kits from Holley aren't that expensive. If you're going to be doing this seriously, it's kind of nice to have them. New cover. Screws. Conveniently, the cover seems like it's going to fit, even though it's off a different carburetor. It's all Holley stuff, so it's kind of nice if you stick to one brand, you can mix and match. Yep. You can feel her moving. Okay. And we will get all of this stuff. This is still pretty good shape. This was a nice gasket set when I first got it. And that one's on upside down. Look at that, pins. Hit it the first time. See the locating pins in the gasket keep you from being stupid? It's kind of nice. Make sure she didn't move. I'm a little concerned about this one because it's crappy, but not terribly crappy. So we'll flip that up, flip this around, get around there. Clean these off a little bit too. They're not anywhere near as bad as the ones that were in the secondary, but still not, don't need. If we can reduce the amount of powder and junk that's getting fed back into it after I start it, we'll be in good shape. There she goes. And don't torque them down all at once, we'll just one at a time. You know, try to spread it out a little bit. Make sure everything seats. one's a little sloppy. So, since I'm here, alright, what you gotta do for this is basically this bolt is threaded through the rocker arm. So just loosen it up a little bit. Then soon, let's see, as soon as that secondary starts moving, the way I've got that cam set up, it pumps that thing. Same thing with this one. Because the last thing you need is a starting line bog. For all I know, that's a poke dance somewhere, but you don't want it on the drag strip. Let's see what else we got. There it is. It's a 4150. Oh, I said it's 7950. Maybe that's the part number for that Venturi, but it's a 4150. That's probably the correct number. Good carburetor. Like I said, I've always liked this unit. Now, I really need to clean this thing. So, what I'm going to do, shut up, is pull this apart and at least just pull this off, see if there's anything terrible in there before I put it back on the carburetor.